Whenever we calculate any problem sums related to percentage, we often get confused. Matlab, it becomes so confusing for the students that they get irritated. No need to worry. Because today we would make our concept so much clear and easy that whenever we see any sums in exams, we would be able to do with lot of ease. So, I, Rina Sharma, means your vitamin T, your teacher for all online solutions, would be discussing these topics today in the most easiest way. So, let's start the video. So students, we started with percentage. We understood how to calculate percentage, convert it into fraction, or if a fraction is given, how to convert it to percentage, decimal, ratios. So these were the basics. Now let's continue with our same topic, and under that we could be doing to find the percentage of a given quantity. Suppose a quantity is given to you. Suppose 20% is given to you. 20% of 320. We have done these also. But today we are practicing it again and we will see how these questions are given in form of story sums or in statement form. So then how are we supposed to do? We often get confused. Lot of time what students do? They divide 20 by 320 into 100, which is totally incorrect. What they should do in these cases, if 20, we have done it, isn't it? Then how to convert a percentage into a fraction? First convert this into fraction. 20. 20 means the number given in the fraction if we want to convert. So the number given of the decimal will be the numerator and 100 will be the denominator. So 20 by 100 into the given number means I have to find 20% of 320. I am not finding 20% of 100. If I multiply with 100 means I am changing the equation itself. The meaning of the question is only changed. So into 320. So just find it. It is 2 2s are 4 and 2 3s are 6. So 64. 64 is the answer. So 20% of 320 will be 64. Now let's see in a question how it would be given. Suppose a question is given. A survey of 40 children showed that 25% liked playing football. I know the percentage is given to you. But out of 40, how will I calculate how many students like playing football? It is simple. We have done, isn't it? We will convert this into fraction. Like how many like playing football? We will convert this into fraction. 25%. This is equal to 25 by 100. And how many children are given? Total. The given quantity is how much? 40. So into 40. I will just calculate it this way. 1, this is 2, this is equal to 10. Means out of 40 children, 10 students like playing football. And in examination, lot of times a question can come, how many do not like playing football? So in that case, what to do? This won't be given to you that how many like playing football. It can be given how many do not like playing football. In that case, I will also have to do this calculation. Once I get this answer, I will subtract these two. That is 40 minus 10 is equals to 30 students. Means 30 do not like playing football. Suppose expressing one quantity as the quantity of another. If I have to find out the percentage when two quantities are given, how to do? So, here I will take one quantity divided by another quantity into 100 because I have to find out the percentage. So how will I do? Suppose a question is given to you that in a fridge 20 ice creams were there. You ate 8 ice creams. So you have to find out what percentage of ice creams did you eat. One thing when we are doing these type of questions about quantity, when we are comparing one quantity with another, finding out the ratio, the unit has to be same. It means that I am eating ice cream from the fridge and I cannot compare the quantity with apples which are kept in the fridge. So the units, if I am eating ice cream with the remaining, the total, I will take those into consideration and only find out. Isn't it? Is it possible I will eat ice cream and I will calculate the apples and say, oh, there are still 20 apples in the fridge. So the comparison will be totally wrong. So what to do in these cases? This one, 8 by 20 into 100. We will simply do this calculation. This is equals to 40%. Means in the fridge, whatever quantity of ice creams we have kept, means 20 in our case, you have eaten 8, means you have eaten 40% of the ice creams which were kept in the fridge. One more very common example for this is, which we need very often in our day-to-day activity, is that when lot of times what? Whenever we get our marks, we want to know what is the percentage. How much percentage did I got? I know the marks, but I don't know the percentage. If it is in 100, I can easily calculate. Suppose nowadays 80 marks exams are being taken, or if I add the total, it is 500 or 600 and I secured a marks. So how to do in those cases? How to find out what is the percentage of marks which I got in the examination? So that is also one quantity with another. Means the quantity which you got means the marks you scored. It is marks scored by total marks into 100. This is the formula. If you leave every formula, if you keep this particular formula in your mind, you can compare any quantities, any question related to quantities given in question. As whenever a question is there, think, okay, marks scored by total marks into 100. This is the basic funda, this you remember in your mind. In my childhood, I remember this only. Until now, whenever I see a question, the marks secured by total marks and I get the answer. Suppose the total marks is say 560 and you secure, suppose, say 480. So what is the percentage in this case? How to calculate? I will simply write marks secured, that is 480 by 560 into 100. So just do the calculation and you will get the answer. So this is the easiest trick to remember. If whenever a number is given, the percent is given, you have to find out the number, just the marks secured by total marks into 100 or one quantity by another into 100. In the denominator, we will always take the total quantity given and this will be the quantity used, eaten, given, secured, achieved, whatever. But the units have to be same. I cannot compare gram with kgs. If gram is there, please convert the question into gram or kg in whatever way you are convenient. But the unit has to be same. The comparison of different units, if you do, then the answer will come wrong. So, minded students, please take same units when you are comparing any quantities. Now, suppose lot of time in examination questions are given where after 1 year, 2 years, there is an increase or decrease in a commodity. So, how to find out what is the difference of the percentage which has been increased or decreased? So, in those cases, if I have to find a percentage increase, then increase in value by original value. Suppose the cost of a pen is 15 rupees. But after 1 year, the cost of the pen was 12 rupees. So what is it? Increase or decrease? Of course, I can see and say that it is decrease. So 3 rupees is a decrease. So in order to find out the percentage, what will I do? 3 divided by 15 into 100 and we will calculate. Suppose this is the scenario that the cost of the pen is 15 and after 1 year, the cost of the pen becomes, suppose say 20 rupees. So the difference is 5, it is an increase. So increase value by original value. We will always calculate on original value. Then only we can find the correct percentage. So 5 divided by 20 into 100. So in this way we can find increase or decrease of any value given. So now let's look for an example. A computer costing 60,000 a year ago now costs rupees 40,000. Find the percentage increase or decrease in price. So in this case, how can we find out the increase or decrease? Yes, you got it correct. First, we will subtract it and find whether it is an increase or decrease and what is the value. We can see that it is 60 in the starting and 40 after a year. So it is a decrease. So just a decrease. This is equals to 60,000 minus 40,000 is equals to 20,000. So this 20,000 according to formula, decrease in value by original means 20,000 divided by 60,000. Don't make a mistake that in calculating that this year it is 40,000, so I will write 40. No. We will always write the original value. Then only we can find the correct percentage related to the commodity. So 20,000 into 20,000 divided by 60,000 into 100. We will just do the calculation. This is 200 by 6. This is 3. This is 100. This is 100 by 3 percentage. Or it is 33 1 by 3 percentage. Similarly, if the scenario is just reverse, let's see the scenario is reverse. I just change the number. Suppose it is 80,000 now. Only one number. Now I can see whether it is an increase or a decrease. Of course, ma'am, it is an increase. So, of course, increase. So, increase in value is 80,000 minus 60,000. This is equals to 20,000. So, how to find out the correct percentage? 20,000 by 20,000 by. So now, if I say last year it was 60,000 and this year it is 70,000, what is the difference? It is increase or decrease? Of course, there is an increase of 10,000 because 70,000 minus 60,000 is equals to 10,000. If I want to find the percentage, 10,000 by. Now, lot of times again we can get confused. Okay, decrease then also it was okay, we took this 60,000, but now it is increased. Should we take 60,000 or 70,000? No, we have to take the original value only. It doesn't make a difference what is the decrease because we have taken the difference already here and we are finding out the percentage of the difference. That's why we will take the original value 60,000 into 100. So straight away this is gonna cut 3. This is 50. This is equals to 50 by 3%, or we can do it like this: 3, 1, 6, 16, 2 by 3 percentage. So this is the way how we are supposed to calculate the increase or decrease in percentage. So no need to be confused. Just remember the formula and see it is percentage means always on 100. So multiply with 100. Lot of times, okay, we should multiply with 100, divide with 100 or 1000. Don't get confused. Always 100. Suppose a question is given, 15% of a number is 45. Find the number. Now what is this? 15% of a number is 45 means, what is 45? Is the number. Find the number. Which number we will find, ma'am? We don't know. See, it is clearly stated that 15% of a number means we don't know the number. We know the value of 15%, that is 45, which is given to you. Means we have to find out the complete value, that is the value of 100%. So what to do? There are different ways in doing. So let's see how we can do. First way in which we can do is that let the number be x. Let the number be x. So 15%. If it is 15% sign given, I will convert it into fraction So 15% of x is equals to 45. Why of x? Because 15% of a number is 45. That's why we will multiply with the number, the original value. Do you remember? We did it. That we will multiply with the original value. Here we don't know the value. So we will multiply with x. This is equals to 45. So now 15 by 100 into x of means multiply 45. Just follow the equation form. Algebraic, what to do? Side change, sign change. So 45, this is divide, it will become multiply. This is divide, this will become here multiply 15. So if I calculate, so the original number is 300. So 15% of 45 is 300. Now let's check, is it really correct? We should always recheck our answer. How to recheck? So the number now we got. Just take out 15% of the number. So 15 by 100 into 300 is what? Yes, it is 45. So it is totally correct. What is the other way of doing the sum? Suppose we forgot how to do x. What to do? So see, we can also apply unitary method. Means we can calculate on the basis of 1. 15% is equals to 45. What is 1%? 1% is equals to 45 by 15. What is 100%? 45 by 15 into 100 is equals to 300. See, if our basics are clear, we can do. That's why we say that basics, the concept, we should understand that instead of mugging anything. Either it is English or math or any other subject. If we understand what it is, we are thorough with it. Any question comes in the examination, we are not to be afraid. We can easily do it. So keep practicing. No need to fear, because percentage or any other topics in math is very, very easy. We will be doing some of the exercises related from ML Agarwal and RS Agarwal in our upcoming videos of percentage. Till that time, stay safe, relax. Thank you.